Approximately 10 days to the lapse of the curfew and cessation of movement of restriction in the country, and the Council of Governors is proposing against the lifting of both restrictions for as long as the COVID-19 curve is not flattened. Zainab Mohammed with the details.
The Council of Governors is working on developing a simplified version.
In their fourth virtual extraordinary summit with the President on Thursday, the governors have proposed a number of recommendations on protocols of inter-county movement, reopening of the economy, and the gradual reopening of the places of worship.
We propose the following on inter-county movement.
On inter-county movement, the governors are proposing that cessation of movement should not be lifted, the curfew should be maintained with the current hours, counties to extend waiver of cess for another 3 months, and upon lapse of the waiver period, payment of cess to be done.
We are in support of the gradual reopening of the economy.
On protocols of reopening of the economy, the governors are proposing that counties with high number of COVID-19 cases should not be opened without consideration. First reopening to start with essential but low-risk sectors, economic activities such as markets to operate in the open and schools to remain closed. Finally, on the gradual reopening of the places of worship, the governors recommend that individuals with underlying health conditions to stay away from worship areas, places of worship to adopt contactless tithe and offering systems, places of worship to ensure proper record of attendees, provision of appropriate facilities such as hand-washing facilities, services to be scheduled to several sessions with 30 people only, and development of legislation to govern these rules and sanctions. On the other hand, President Uhuru Kenyatta says the reopening of the country will depend upon a number of factors, including readiness of counties to handle a surge in cases of COVID-19, the overall behavior of Kenyans, and their discipline, among other factors.
County governments and their readiness to respond to new imported cases of infection will also equally largely determine our national readiness to reopen the country as a whole. And this is because the nation is the sum total of our 47 counties. And if the counties have met the necessary thresholds, then the nation as a whole will be ready to reopen.
Deputy President William Ruto, who is in support of the reopening, also urged Kenyans to adhere to the government's guidelines in order to curb the virus.
Sisi wote ni wa Kenya na hakuna Mkenya mkubwa kuliko mwenzake. Sisi wote ni kiwango kimoja chini ya katiba na sheria ya Kenya.
As intergovernmental discussions continue to take place, one thing is clear: beating COVID-19 pandemic will require a collective effort by both the government and the citizens. For TV47, I'm Zainab Mohammed.